Hi everyone, my name is Chris Bark and today I'm proud to present to you a demonstration of our pet shop management software. For the last 13 years we've strived to build the world's leading EPOS system, and we've managed to do that, and we've managed to help thousands of business owners around the world to use our system to grow their business. If you go back 13 years ago, I was like most pet shop owners. I was struggling with loads of things within my business. I was struggling with how to serve customers quickly, how to do my accounting and it not take all month, how to do customer loyalty, or how to do automatic reordering, or even simple things like how to price products quickly and efficiently, and instead of it taking 4 or 5 hours every time we get an order in. The way that we managed to overcome all these things was by designing and building the world's leading EPOS system with my team. We built a system that is specifically designed for pet shop owners like you to actually take all these things and make them much easier for you within your business. Without too much further ado, let's get into the demonstration of the software and let's show you some of the stuff we can do. So first things first, we're going to look at security. Security is vitally important because without it in our business, anyone can do anything that you don't want them to do. So for instance, in my business, I've caught 3 members of staff stealing from me over the last 13 years. And without the system, I couldn't have done that. So the way that we do it is that we log in 3 different ways. So you can log in either through a username and password, you can log in off a swipe card or a fingerprint, depending on what hardware you've got. So if you've got a fingerprint reader like most businesses have, about 90% of our customers use fingerprint readers. If you've got that, if you press your thumb on the fingerprint reader, you'll see down the bottom it says Chris, so it's logged me in as Chris. If you pretend that this finger is a junior member of staff or is a different person, if I log in using that fingerprint, you'll see that it switches off a load of features. So as a junior member of staff, I can't see how much the business is doing, or where I'm buying stock from, or how much it's costing. So instead of having to log in and it taking loads of time, think how much quicker it is if you actually just put your fingerprint on like so, and it logs you in, and then it keeps track of who's done what within the system. So we're able to instantly see if there are any problems that arise. So that's logging in. So from now on, everything I'm going to show you is as if you're the owner of a business, not a junior member of staff. Be rest assured though that if you have a feature that you see over the next, however long the demonstration is, and you think to yourself, I don't want my member of staff to be able to do that, you can go into our settings section and you can actually just select what they're allowed to do. So, most important thing within an EPOS system is how to take money off customers, how to do it quickly and efficiently. Our system is the best at this, it's the quickest, it's the easiest to use, and we've developed it specifically to allow business owners like you to be able to do it really quickly. We know how important it is because we do it ourselves. So, the question we get asked all the time is, how long is it going to take to set up our EPOS system? How long is it going to take to be able to use it? Best answer I can give to you is, if you look overall, we typically can manage to get people serving off our system within 4 hours of having it set up. That's easily achievable. The way that we do this is by actually using the databases that we've already got. So we're lucky that we've got 240,000 pet products on our database with all current suppliers, with retail prices, supplier costs, and all the basic information that you need. We've already got that. So if you tell us who you buy from and what band you're on, we can preload it before we come down. Now, you might have data that we don't have on our database. That's quite rare now, but if you do, we'll preload it for you. So we'll import it for you free of charge, or you've got an import button within the system that will allow you to do it really quickly and easily. So what that means is, as soon as we arrive, essentially you're able to serve off the system. Now, another way that you can do that is, if you see the way the screen is laid out, there are other examples of different templates that come up on the screen now. Now, all these templates, you pick the one that's right for your business. So the one I've chosen for this demonstration is a version of mine from within my store. Now, mine is a general pet store, so it does everything. We do animals, we do dry goods, we do just about everything that you could do within a pet shop, we are doing our business. So we've designed it in this particular way to enable it to work best for my store. Now, depending on what you do, you might have different layouts like the ones that are shown. So what that means is, we have things like big bulky items, so like big bags of dog food or cat food that we don't want to have to pick up on to the counter to scan. We have it so that they're on a button, or things without barcodes as well, so we're able to do that. What that means though, overall is, so if a customer comes into store, to purchase a product. You simply, anything with a barcode, you scan the barcode, and as soon as we arrive, because we've preloaded the barcodes, these will scan for you. So if you see what it does is it puts in the quantity, name of the product, selling price on every single product that you scan. Now if they wanted 5 of that product, you could do 5 at $1.69 and it increases the total. If they had a big bag of cat food as well, so you could press on the cat food and it's as if you scan the barcode. So if you see along the top, the total's gone up to £26.44. If a customer then wants to pay you the money, which is obviously the most important part, they give you £30 cash. When you press cash, cash drawer will open and then a receipt will print for you. Now the receipt will have your logo on, so it's customised to you. It'll have all your store details on. It'll have who's served the customer, what they've bought, any tax implications, and then slogans and any offers and stuff at the bottom. What it also does is it has a barcode on it. Now, how long does it take you to do a refund in your store? If you've got another EPOS system, I imagine it takes a fair old amount of time. If you're doing it manually, I know how long it takes because we used to do it before we managed to get the system set up in my store. So what that means is, in our store, it's this easy to do a refund. If you scan the barcode of the product, of the receipt, sorry, it brings up every product within that transaction. So if I wanted to refund that bag of Supercat, I press refund, and it goes back into stock at -$17.99. You then, if you want to do an exchange over the top, you can do an exchange there and then, and the total goes to -$16.30. You can then refund the item, either by it cash, card, check, mail order, or the one that most of us like to use, the one I use all the time in my store, is a credit note. The advantage of a credit note is, as soon as you produce it, about 40% of customers never use them. They're really quick, and it means that the cash isn't going back out your business. So if I press credit note now, that's produced a credit note that quickly that your customer can use in store whenever they want. This one's valid for the next 6 months, but you can set however long you want them to be valid for. It's a much better way than giving the cash back out the till. Next thing I'm going to show you is what happens if, dead quickly there is a product return section. So any product that comes back in, if it's damaged or needs to go back to a manufacturer, there's a section there for you that keeps track on what products have been returned to your business. Next thing I'm going to deal with is what happens if a product isn't in your system. So if it's a new product or something you've never stocked before when it comes in, what happens? So what happens is if you scan the barcode, you'll see there's a little siren that comes up that can be as loud as you want within your business. And what it does is it brings up a new stock screen, which allows you to enter the details. So if you wanted, you could enter the name and the price and where you buy it from, etc. there and then. That's good, that's really quick, it's much quicker than near enough any other EPOS system on the market. However, if I press this one here, this makes it a whole lot quicker, because what it does is it searches our database on our cloud and it finds the product. So it's got the name of the product and you can pick which name suits your business best. It's got the picture already, it's got possible selling prices and then possible supplier costs. If I press insert and accept, from that second on, that product's in the system. You've seen how quick that is. That is so quick to get a product into the system and allow you to be able to sell it to your customers straight away. So obviously that's a really good feature for your business. How often do you have it whereby you start serving one customer and then they decide they've forgotten something, or they want to have a chat, or they just basically don't want to pay for their stuff straight away? If that happens in your business, it happens in mine all the time. You can simply switch carts. Oh, they've already got something in that cart, so let's go to cart 3. And then we can then quickly take a transaction for £5, but we can then go back to cart 1 and all the stuff is still there. It allows us to serve multiple customers at once and do it really quickly and efficiently. So it'll allow you to do things like that really quickly. Now, how often do you do customer orders in your store? I imagine it's a part of your business, be it pre-orders or deliveries or getting stock in for stuff for people that you don't necessarily keep in all the time. Well, if that's the case, I imagine that you do it probably something similar to this. A customer will come in for a product and you haven't got it in store. So what you'll do is you'll look in your catalogues, you'll find out what the product is, where you can buy it from and how much it costs. You'll then take details of them to say that you're going to put it on order for them. You will make a note of it. You may take a deposit, you may not. You'll probably take their telephone number and maybe their address. You'll then pop it on order. When it comes back in, you'll either call a customer up or you'll go and deliver it to them. That's pretty much how it goes on most stores. If that's the case, I'm going to show you how quickly and easily you can do it within our business. Most of you are probably doing it on a pen and a pad, aren't you? You've got a pad that says customer orders, you write them all down. With us, we take all that trouble away. What we do is, you can go find item. Now this is another great section for you, because what it does is it takes away all need for having to have loads of catalogues. You can have all of your suppliers' data preloaded. So that means if you buy, say, off Vital or Best Pets or Pedigree or Peregrine or whoever it is, you can have their whole database imported even if you don't sell all their stock. So in this particular case, say someone comes in for a Kong that you don't stock or you haven't got in at the moment. If I press Kong, it brings up every single Kong product that I've got that I can buy. So if someone wanted an Extreme Kong Giant XXL 35 kilo plus, it shows me how much it's costing me currently, and if I press accept, it puts it into the cart for me. Now, if I want to put it onto an order, I just simply press customer orders and create new order. I can then type in their name, so I can do Chris, and then I might want to do a postcode. So if I do CH447JW, what the system will do is, because it's connected to our servers, it can search our database to find the postcode. So if I look down there and I press Premier EPOS, it will fill the details in for me, so it means I don't have to type it. I can then, if I want, I can put a telephone number in that section, so it allows to text the customer through the system when it arrives. A couple of other things is, quickly you can pick when it's going to be delivered or when it's going to arrive to you, when the customer wants it. So if I say the 6th, press accept, you'll see that it's created an order for Chris for $17.49, what products are within the order. It can then, if you want, you can send a text message to say that the product's arrived or it's ready for collection. You can have it auto do that when it arrives in stock if you want. This will save you hours and hours of time of ringing customers and listening to life stories and all the other things that we do every day when we speak to customers. It basically automates the whole process, so you don't have to necessarily waste the time if you don't want. Dead quickly, you can also put a deposit on the order if you choose there and then. I'm going to fly through the rest of the sales screen. I'm not going to show you every feature. You'll probably see there are hundreds and hundreds of features within the system that I'm not going to show you. But what I will do is I'll quickly show you a couple of the others that really become quite useful. So, do you ever give discounts to your customers? Do you ever give them 10% off, or do you ever reduce it down by an amount if they spend too much? So say they bought, the customer was buying 10 of those and they were going to buy, let's go, dog food. They wanted to buy a bag of beta and some large breed. If you notice there, they're purple. What that means is that we've actually got a special offer running. And if you can see down the bottom, I can double click and I can see that we've got 25% off beta this month. That's automatically set up without your members' staff necessarily having to know about it. If you set it up back office, it can be on the till straight away. Excuse me. So allow us to do that. Another quick feature you can do there and then is if you click the question mark, you can see a picture and a text on those particular products. So that can be going up to your website. So if you sell online, it can be going up to your website. It can even go up to eBay and Amazon if you want to do that. And it'll hold that information. You can also show your customers, so you can show them on the second screen that I'll show you later on. But you can also do a load of other features. So, you know, how long does it take you to price your items in store? If I want to... In my store, it used to take me hours. It used to take me 4 or 5 hours every single time an order came in. Now it takes me about 10 to 20 minutes when an order comes in at most. The way that we do that is, as soon as that product comes in, we press print label, press accept, and that's produced me a label that quickly, a shelf edge label that can go on the front of the shelf. Now that's a real basic example. I'm going to show you some more complicated ones, or probably a better description is much better looking ones that you can do if you want, but that's how quick you can produce a label if you want at point of sale. You can also take that same product and, you know, how long do you waste every week checking prices of suppliers to make sure that you're getting the best possible deal? I imagine it's a fair old amount of time. Well, with our system, it takes away that stress from you. You literally press find wholesalers and it'll show you every single wholesaler this store's set to within the UK that sells that product and how much they charge based on what band you're on. You know, how good's that for you? How much of a negotiating tool is that for you with your suppliers? You know, how often are we trying to get the best deal off our reps? This takes away that pressure from you because you can instantly show that rep that you can buy the product cheaper from somewhere else. And if they want to keep your business, they're going to have to fight for it. So that's really useful. It's a massive, massive advantage that you'll get by having our system. Another one that we get all the time is, how do we work out what we charge for a product? If we press check prices, it will show you how much other people who've got our system charge for that product. It doesn't tell you anything about them, but you'll see that 37% of people charge $29.99 for that product. The most expensive price actually is $29.99, and the cheapest is $24.49. So some people are making £5 less a bag than you will be by charging the full retail price in this particular case. A couple of other things you can see there. You can see your current quantity in stock. You can see your reorder level, minimum, mins, maxes, case cost. Case cost is useful because it shows you how much that product has actually cost you. So if you've ever got a damaged bag or someone's coming in for the best possible price, you can instantly see how much that product's costing you. How much time will that save you within your business to just be able to scan a product and see how much it's cost you instantly. Right, do you charge the same price for every product in store? I used to, but now we have 8 prices for every single product. Now you might think to yourself, oh, that's loads of different work, but let me explain to you how we do it. So in my store I have retail price, which is what a general customer who walks in off the street pays. I have staff discount, I have gold, silver, bronze customers. I also have wholesale customers because we wholesale the odd product. I have my online price, and then I also have one-off price. So I mean, we get, say, a local cattery who gets cat litter at £1 a bag more than I buy it for. We've got that preset up, and when our price goes up from the supplier, the price goes up to them. So it allows us to automate all these things. So instead of it being loads more work, it actually makes it really efficient. It also means that my best customers pay a better price and are much more likely to keep coming back. So you can see those prices there, and then it shows you the top 5 price levels where you're able to just see how much they're paying. Another quick thing you can do is, if you ever need to discount that product, you can do a one-off price and a one-off percentage there and then at point of sale. I'm going to fly through the rest of the sales screen now. I really am going to speed up. We've got quotes if you want to do quotes. You can view all recent transactions if you want to do that. You can do discounts. So if I wanted to do a discount on the whole cart, I can do that. So I can do it by a percentage. I can do a discount on the whole cart. What I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to just remove those products, because in this store it's set where you can't have discounts if it's on a special offer. So say we wanted those 2 products which come to $19.98, so let's take it up to 50 of those. So say it was £166. If I want, I can do 10% off, and it'll knock 10% off the whole cart there and then, and it shows who's given the discount and when they've given the discount. Will that save you quite a lot of time? I think it will. You might want to do, let's just remove that. We might want to decide that if you buy all that together, we'll knock it down to £150. If we do that, once we do that, it's recorded again who's given the discount and how much. Now, do you sell animals in store? Well, if you do, obviously we've got things like the Animal Welfare Act where we want to keep records of who's buying which animals. If you click on record sales of animals, it'll show you an instantly usable screen where you can show animals in, animals out, where the livestock's going to, where it's coming from, and it keeps a really good database of customers of basically where we sold animals to. If you ever have an inspection by your local council or whoever inspects you, there's a record within the back office that within the back of this system, so when we come out onto the main menu, that literally allows us to press print, and it prints off every animal we've ever sold, which instantly gets you in their good books. A couple of other things, you can have your staff clock in and out if you want using the system, because they're logging into the system when they come in. You can also have it where it marks down waste and shop use. So if I press mark down as waste on those products, and we'll say those products are damaged, that will take it out of your stock and off your profits, and then it'll show it for you from an accounting point of view. It'll show instantly where those products have gone. Do you think that will be useful for you? Will that save you time when it comes to doing your VAT quarters or at the end of the year? To me, it saves me absolute hours. Another thing there, if you want, you can use it shop use. So if you ever feed animals off your stock, you can press that and mark it down as shop use. As I say, there's quotes. If you want, you can do alternative payment methods like coupons, vouchers, paying on credit. You can pay on backs and things like that. And then you can even do things like get directions on other things. I think you can probably see from what we've done there how quick and easy it is to use our EPOS system. if you've got any questions about it, you can always make contact with us and we'll go from there. We're now going to move on to one of the other sections. The next section we're going to look at is reordering or stock control in general. Now, I don't know how your business works, but I know that most of our customers, the biggest problem they have within their business is managing their stock. I know as a retailer myself, stock control can be the bane of your life. It can take you hours and hours every single day, let alone every single week and year. We've developed our system around helping business owners like you to automate the process as best as possible. So what we've done is we've designed a load of different features within the system that are unique to us. So I'm going to show you some of them now. So I'm going to click on the reordering section, and I don't know how you place your orders, but I'm going to talk you through a couple of different ways that you can do it. So if I want to create a new order, so if I want to decide how much stock I've got, I can do it in a couple of ways. So I can do it based on previous sales. Now what the system will do is you can set your dates you want to look at, pick your supplier, and it will tell you what you've sold from that particular supplier, which is really useful when it comes to ordering if you don't want to automate the whole process. Now, the way that most of us do it is that we want to work on a principle called maximum and minimum, which basically means we will get, when you get down to 5 of a product, it reorders you back up to 10, for instance. So if we want to work in that particular way, we want to create an order. I'm going to decide who I'm going to order off. So say today I'm doing an order with Pedigree Wholesale. If I press accept, what this will do is it will look at my current system, it will look at what levels of stock I've currently got in, and it will create me an order. So if you see in this particular situation, it's created me an order for £662.69. Now, you don't know what the actual order is, so what you can do is you can press edit items. And what the system does is it shows you every single product you need to reorder based on what you've got in stock. So it will show you every single product. So if we click a couple, you can see a picture of the product next to the item as well. But you can also see things like statistics. So you can see how many you sold in the last 7 days, or the last week, or the last month, or what days of the week they sell best on, and things like that. Now, a couple of other really good features within this section is you could do that one there, which will show items that are cheaper from somewhere else. So if we scroll down, if you see the one that's in red, I can buy that product cheaper from another supplier. If I want to see which supplier it is, I can click on the product and it will show me that I can buy it cheaper from, let's do it again so you can see it better. That one there. It says that I can buy it for £14.84 from Outhwaite's, or I can pay £16.79 buying it direct from Pedigree. Now, you might just, you might within your business always buy that product at a cheaper rate. Now, not everyone does that, so in this particular situation, you might not be doing an order with Outhwaite's for another couple of weeks. But because you're doing an order with Pedigree today, you can get the product in to make sure that we've still got the stock in and we can still serve our customers. But it can also take into account the fact that we can buy it cheaper from somewhere else. So you can, depending on how you work, you can either have it so that it will order it at a cheaper rate, or it will order it to get it into stock. It depends how you want to work. Now, as well as that, you can also add to the order. So if we want, we could add a Dr. John's Silver to the order. Let's do that one, and we add it to the order. So I've added the product to the order straight away just by clicking on it. And we can also, if we want, we could remove some products, so we can delete them from there. It's just warning me, bear in mind. Just give me a warning telling me that I actually need that stock in for a customer order. Now that I've decided that my order's right, so it's gone from £600 down to £489 because I've removed quite a few products from it, we can do a load of things. So what we can do is we can print the order if you want to, you can phone it through because you've got all the supplier codes on here. You can email the order, and then on some suppliers like Vital and Best Pets and Peregrine Live Foods, you can import it straight into their stock file using what we call a CSV, or a direct transfer. So because we work with these suppliers, we've already got it set up so that you can actually instantly send them the order over. Now, again, the great thing about this is that the system knows that those products are on order. So what it'll do is it won't reorder those products because it knows it's coming in, and it'll allow you to, so it allows you to forecast what's coming in and what's going to be coming in over the next couple of weeks or the next couple of days. System also can learn, so because the way the system's designed, it can learn what levels of stock you have, and it can suggest what your maximums and your minimums should be. So because the system's intelligent, it can tell you where it thinks you hold too much stock or where it thinks you don't hold enough. This on its own could save you thousands and thousands of pounds, because it can suggest where where you're holding too much stock, and it will allow you to take your stock out of stuff that's not selling and put it into other products that are selling better. So the system's really good at anticipating the way that your business is actually running, and predicting how it's going to, how best to hold stock for the future. Within the stock screen, as I say, there are loads of different ways of saving it. We can hold so many different variations of stock, so from barcodes to pictures to weight. We can hold all this about the particular product, but it'll also allow you to automate your orders and send them straight out as well. The next section we're going to look at is the shelf edge label maker. Now, the shelf edge label maker we've designed to save you hours and hours within your business. If you think about it, every week, how long do you spend producing labels for stock, or how long does it take you to individually price your items within your stock file? It probably takes you hours and hours. I know in my business it used to take me hours every single week pricing products. But what we did is we designed a tool that would take all that stress and all that time away from you and allow you to actually spend it on your business doing things that are more important. So the way that we do that is using our shelf edge label maker, which is on the main menu. Now, shelf edge label maker, what we've done is we've designed a load of templates for you, so you can actually literally use the stuff we've already got to make a start within your business. So for instance, if I click on Viv Label Default, press Edit Label Style, I can drag and drop and design it however I want. So if I don't like where something is, I can move it around, I can design it. What that means is that you can use our templates to basically be able to customize your shop with your logos on it, putting products on there with barcodes and things like that, which allows you to actually put it on the product and the product to actually be presented really well and make it easier to sell. Now, as well as that, you can do other things. So I already showed you how to produce a really simple receipt label before, but what we can also do is we can do way out labels. So what we can do is we can use the scales that are over here and the label printer that I've got in front of me as well to produce labels that can actually stick onto way out items as well. So the way that we do that is we decide which printer it is we want to actually print on, and then we're going to click which label it is that we're going to print, and then what we'll do is we produce way out labels from stock. So the way that works is we pick what it is which product it is, the way out product, and then we produce a way out label. So if I say that these are a bag of dog food in this particular case, what that will do is it'll then produce a label that's created. It's used the weight of those products to create the label for you as well. And the good thing about this is they can be taken off and they can be stuck onto your actual product as well. So you're able to do that. Now, as well as that, you can also do things like you might decide that you wanted to produce a load of labels all at once. So the way that we do that is we want to let's go with that particular printer. So I'm going to use this printer just to show you this example. But if we produce labels from stock and I want to say, let's go all of them. We want to put them all in print list. If I press print preview and print, this will produce me 3 separate labels all at once. Now, you can do labels like that where it's one big label, but you can also do receipt label default like that one. We'll do exactly the same again, but we'll print preview and we'll press print, and this will do individual labels like so. So as you've seen, you can do one big label, or you can do loads of smaller labels that can go on. Now, you might not think that the labels that we're showing you fit exactly what you want in your store. So here are a few examples of different labels that different customers of ours use. So we've got ones that can go on fish tanks, we've got different styles of way out labels, we've got another way out label that can go onto the front of bags, we've got gift vouchers that you can print through the same section, we've got labels like receipt labels like that. You can kind of guess from all the different labels that I'm showing you. You can do just about anything you want, any different type of design, or using the shelf edge label maker. Now, shelf edge label maker comes as standard on all our different versions of the software. So whichever version you go for, you get it as standard with it. I hope you see how much time that'll save you. The next section we're going to look at is the stats and reporting section. Now, within your business, most of us, we really need to focus on the actual data that we can get off our EPOS system. We need to be able to use the information that it can give us to make proper informed decisions, which will allow us to grow our business. With that in mind, we've designed the world's probably the most comprehensive reporting section on any EPOS system that there is. The reason we've done that is because we know that the data it gives you allows you to actually grow your business. So the way we do it is, if you go into the stats section, if you want to look at how your business is performing, you simply pick your dates you want to look at and you press show details. Now what that does is, it goes from the 1st to the 15th and it shows you every single product you've sold. So if you see in this section here, it breaks down what products we've actually sold. So we can, let's have a look. So it'll show us that sunflower hearts are the best selling line in this particular store. You've got layers pellets next, you've got wild bird seed, mixed corn. Now that information is quite good, it's quite useful for us because it allows us to instantly see what's actually performing within the business. You can see some other things as well, like you can see the amount of income that's come in, so the amount of money you've actually taken during that particular time frame. You've got net income, which is before tax. You've got your total stock cost, profit after VAT, vatable income, VAT-free income, VAT estimate transactions. You've got total cash, total card, total checks, total mail order, total in vouchers, and total on credit. Now you can see an overview of your business literally by pressing show details. It just shows you everything you need to know. Now, I use this every single day within all my businesses because it allows me to literally just overview what's happening in that particular day. As well as that, you can also see things like average income, average stock cost, average net profit, average number of transactions. And then, depending on how you use percentages, it'll show you different percentages within your business, like POR and gross profit and net profit and things like that as well. As well as that, you can do past data. So this one we use all the time within my business. It allows us to show how our business is performing versus this same week, last year, last month, yesterday. Basically, you can go daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly, and it'll look at how your business was performing in those time frames. So you can say on your yearly one, it'll say, "Are you performing better than you were last year?" Now, as well as that, because you might think to yourself, "Well, I don't want to see all that data. Maybe I want to look at a particular member of staff." Well, you could do that. You could go on to criteria number 2, criteria 1 it will be, and you can filter till, and then you can filter staff. So what we do is that we can select which member of staff we want as well. You could filter which till we want to look at. So if you've got multiple tills, you could say how's till 1 performing versus till 2. You can show just cash purchases or just check purchases or just web order purchases as well. You can also do things like individual customers, individual days of the week, and then types and subtypes, and you can filter all them. Once you're happy with your filters, you press show details again, and it will show you updated statistics. Now, from here, so this is just like an overview. From here, we can go into the charts and reports section, and when we click on it, there are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of different charts and reports that you're able to do using our system. Now, depending on your business, depends on how many of the reports you want to use. I use a lot of the different reports all the time because it allows me to give a proper overview of the business. So some examples of the types of reports you can do. You can look at takings from selected days. So this is really useful when it comes to exporting it to your accounting package. So, what accounting package do you use? Do you use Sage? Do you use QuickBooks? Do you use Xero? All those different companies we integrate with, so it allows you to actually export this data direct onto your accounting package as well. But the account summary daily shows you each day of the week, income, all your non-VAT, expenditure, tax, profit, so it'll show you how the business is performing. You can do that daily, you can do it weekly, you can do it monthly. You can look at best income lines, so you can show you over the time frame you're looking at, what's the best income line, so which products do you make the most money off. You could also do the alternative to that, so you could look at the worst income lines. You could look at best selling lines, so the ones that you've sold the most quantity of. You can also do worst selling lines. You could do best profit lines, worst profit lines. You get the idea, there's quite a few. You could look at categories. So depending on what type of pet store you are, you could look at how is dog performing versus cat versus reptile versus aquatics. Now, as well as that, using the types and subtypes category here, you can actually even take it down. So you could say within dog food, how is wet performing against dry versus frozen, and it will show you how each category performs against the other one. You can do stock versus sales, which shows you how much stock you hold versus the amount of sales you make. So it'll allow you, it basically kind of highlights where you might be holding too much stock. It flags up anything that could be a theft by a member of staff. Now, I'm sure your staff are all honest and above board, but for instance, in my retail stores, in my pet stores, I've managed to catch 3 people who stole over £3,000 from me in the last 10 years, and we've done that completely by using the EPOS system. You've got a petty cash overview, which shows you all the money in and out of the till using the petty cash function. You've got repeat purchase offers and how they performed. So the repeat purchase report shows you how all your special offers perform and which ones are working for you and which ones aren't. You have all your different customer reports, like best customers by total spend, best customers by average spend, what products they actually buy. For us who've got animals, you've got an animal sales ledger, so it'll show you every single animal that you've ever sold, who you've sold it to, and all their information as well. That's really useful if you ever have to produce that for the RSPCA or your local authority. We've got a product sales report, which shows you every single product you sold over a particular day. We've got a general sales overview report, which shows you every single breakdown of what you sold. So it'll show you basically what we showed on the original screen. So like actual income, profit, taxable income, VATable income. It'll show you your cash card breakdowns, and it'll also show you like an overview of categories of how they performed on that particular day. We have banking summaries and cash up reports, which shows you everything you need to know for when you're putting money into the bank, or for all your cash ups to show you whether you're up or down on what you actually took within the till. You've got reports on staff performance, so you can see every single member of staff, how much money they bring in, and also what products they sell. So you can do it by category, or you can do it by individual products. You've got customer statements and customer invoices, where you've got both of those full, so you can show full invoices, and then you can show a full customer statement of how much money that particular customer owes you. You've got boarding contracts if you do any animal boarding, and then showing you a different type of boarding schedule for what's coming in over that particular week or month, if you want. We then go into the report section, or the chart section, should I say, which shows you can do things like income generated per hour of the day, shows you how much money is actually coming per hour. You've got income generated per day of the week. You've got income generated over multiple dates, over multiple months. You've also then got income generated per member of staff. So it'll show you how much money each member of staff makes you. You know, if you look at that particular report there, you don't want to be losing your members of staff that are bringing in the most amount of income into your business. You want to essentially reward the people who make the most money for you, and maybe you want to look at how to get the other members of staff performing as well. You've got loads of other reports like quantity sold per hour of the day, quantity sold over days of the week, etc, etc. I'm not going to bore you with loads of them, but there are other reports like best-selling lines, categories. So how does how does dog perform versus cat in an actual overview? So you can see it in a chart form rather than a report. You've got you can do the same type of reports again, but within categories as well. So you could say again within dog food, what performs best, and it'll show you that way. I'm not going to bore you with the rest of these. The only other things I will say is that you can also do charts. If you've got multi-stores, you can do like bar charts or pie charts to show you which store performs better than the other one. You've also got line charts to show you income over multiple stores as well. Basically, the easiest way to say it is there are thousands and thousands of different reports you can do by using the filters within the EPOS. Any piece of information you want to get out of the system, we pretty much record it, and the reports are there. We sometimes have customers who want specific reports, so they want to have multiple reports put together. We can do that through a custom report. There's a small charge for doing it, and there's sometimes a waiting list. But basically all you need to do is you tell us what information you want to get, and we'll show you how to get it. Now we're going to look at one of my favourite sections, which is customer loyalty. Customer loyalty is the lifeblood of your business. Whether you know it or not, you've got customer loyalty happening in your business every single day. Are you currently running a loyalty scheme? If so, how are you using it? Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some real easy ways of using it that can massively grow your business very, very quickly. So first things first, I want to show you a bit about our customer loyalty side. So if I show you from a sales side first, which is how you would actually get someone signed up, and then what type of information we can hold, etc. about them. So the way we do that is we select customer, and then we search for the customers. Now, if it's a new customer, you can click on new customer there, and it'll open up your form where you can fill them in. Now, the great thing about customer loyalty is you can do things like this. So you can do loyalty cards, the likes of these. So these are some of our pet specific loyalty cards. You can probably see there are hundreds of different pet shops that we've done loyalty cards with. Now, the way it works with those loyalty cards is you give a card to your customer then puts it in their purse or their wallet, and then when they come in, you swipe the card. So what happens is there's no data actually held on the card, it's actually all held on the system. So obviously you can hold things like their name, their address, their phone number. You want to make sure that you collect as much info as you can. The more you collect now, the better it'll be for you later on down the line. So you want to collect their first name, their surname, their phone number, which you want their mobile number, because then the system can send text for you, which I'll show you later. You want to get their postal address, so that way we can write them a letter if we need to. And then you also want to collect their email address, so we can send them an email as well. The great thing is if you collect likes of your email address, you can upload that to the likes of Facebook and Google, and then you can then do marketing to them, to people all around the internet using the email address, using matching options, as long as it's within your GDPR policy, obviously. We want to also, you can take other things like their date of birth, their credit limits and things like that if you want. If you want to take their birthday, the birthday is a really good piece of information, because you can send them birthday cards on their birthday. It's probably the best piece of marketing you could ever do. Anyway, so you can take that information at point of sale. So it's really quick. To sign up a customer probably takes you at most a minute, and that minute will then allow you to make lots and lots of money over the coming months and years after it. Now, as well as that, the good thing about this section of the customer loyalty is you can do some other stuff as well. So if you wanted, you can store a photo against that particular customer. You can also, if we select the customer, you can see what animals they've got, so you can store every single animal that particular customer has. So if they've got a dog, if they've got a cat, if they've got a dog, what type of dog is it? If you've got a grooming party business, you could make notes about the temperament of the animal. If you're doing boarding, you can do whether they're vaccinated or not. You can hold loads of information, as you can probably see there. You can hold basic information like what type of animal it is. You can hold medical, diet, vaccines. You can even store photos of the actual animal if you want, there and there, all at point of sale. So it allows you, the good thing about this, is if you've got a product for a cat, you could actually select all your cat customers in marketing and send it to them as well. So you can hold loads of information. You can see how they do on offers. You can, if you run credit accounts, you can do credit limits and days, all against the customer, all at point of sale. That's the point of sale side. So that's what happens when a customer comes in. You can sign them up. When they come in, you can swipe the card and it'll select the customer, and it stores every single thing that they ever buy against the customer. So that's the front of house side. So if we now look more what you can do with it, if we go on to customers and marketing and customer database, if we press show all customers, you'll see it's the same list of customers we had on the sales screen. So if I select one, so if we select Ben Dooley in this particular situation, we can then see a load of information about that customer and how they interact with your business. So the way we do that is we go individual stats, and then you see, if you can see there, it shows what days of the week they come in. So Ben in this particular case comes in very infrequently on a Monday, so he's only ever been in 5 times on a Monday. He comes in most frequently actually over weekends, so on a Saturday and a Sunday. Average spend varies depending on what day it is, so he goes from an average spend of £17.37 to £28 depending on what day of the week he comes in. Now that could be for a number of reasons, so if you want, you could think about it, it could be because there's a certain member of staff in who's better at selling Ben something. It could be because they have better money. It could be, if you look, his average spend on a weekend's not very high. It could be that because you're so busy on a weekend, you can't spend as much time with that particular customer. See a load of other information like how often they visit, what their average spend is, what their yearly spend is. This might sound useful for you, but I'll show you some things that can make it really, really useful. So what we can do is we can then click on customer spending habits, and it shows us every single product that Ben has ever bought. So it shows you his best spend product is layers pallets. He buys mealworms, he buys cool mix, he buys hi-fi. So he looks like he's more of a A farm style customer, so it looks like he's probably got horses as well as chickens and things like that. Now again, that might sound useful for you because you can look at an individual customer. You can also do that for all customers though. So what we could do is press all customers and let's have a look, let's see what's the best. Well, let's go. Well, if we look at what the best selling lines are, if we click sunflower hearts, it will show you that this particular store has done £85,000 in sunflower hearts since they've had the system. It also shows that they've sold, how many was it, 4,599 of that particular product. Again, that might not sound that useful for you, but what we can do is if we press this one here, this button, it'll look at every single product that anybody who's ever bought those sunflower hearts has bought, and it'll look at how that particular product links the whole company together. So if we look at the sunflower hearts, they've got a 12.75 kilo bag. Every time they sell one, they only pretty much buy one of those particular products. So it's a product that they only rarely buy one at a time. However, whenever someone buys them, they buy 4.25 other products in store. It shows you what products they buy. So actually, their most popular product with it is green flower sticks. And then you've got wild bird seed, which makes sense. And then you've got a dog treat, which is possibly a little bit different. It'll show you that whenever you sell that product, on average, they spend £36.38 within the store. So that's really, really useful for you because it flags up how good that product is at linking the store together and how many other products people buy with it. With it being sunflower hearts, it's also quite useful for you to notice that they sell a lot of sunflower hearts January, February, March, and then it starts to dip down, and then October, November, December, where you'd normally think that you'd be doing more sales of things like sunflower hearts. In this particular business, they actually sell less. Now, that from your point of view, it gives you that information that you can then use to make decisions. You can put promotions on at certain times of the year. You can do anything you want really to basically use that data to help you grow your business. As you can see, there are loads of different things you can do. You can also do things like best spend periods within customers, so it'll show you when that customer comes in most frequently. Let's just give you an idea. So you can pick month for all customers, total spend, and when you press refresh stats, it shows you which months are the best months ever. So it allows you basically to see an overview of your business, really easy. And basically that's it. So within your customer database side, there's loads of information that you can use. Now what we're going to look at in the next section is customer marketing and how to use this data to make you money. Now I'm going to talk about one of my favourite sections, which is the marketing campaign. Now the marketing campaign is the section of the EPOS that I've used to make myself hundreds of thousands of pounds, as have loads of our customers. It's really easy to use, but what it basically does is it allows you to take the data that we've actually captured from the customer loyalty and use that data to make you money and to actually basically interact with your customers. So the way we do it is we go into marketing campaign, and as you can probably see on the left hand side, there are loads of different lists of customers we've already created. Now we've done loads of different videos over the time on customer loyalty, and most of them use this particular section of our EPOS system to actually allow us to make money and allow us to use our customer loyalty list to actually, as I say, interact with our customers. So the way that we do that is we create lists of customers and then we can send them marketing using the rest of the system. So lists of customers you could do like, as you can probably see there, you could do best customers, you can do people who spent over £50 average spend, people who spent over £1,000, people who've not visited recently. So like for instance, let's start with best customers. Let's build up a list for you so you can see how easy it is. So let's do best. I'm not going to type it all, let's just do best. So if we want to do best customers, so how you decide what your best customers, basically who is one of your best customers is probably the first question you've got. You could do it by how much they've spent or how often they visit or what their average spend is. But for this one, let's do our best customers. Let's say they're the ones who spent most money. So let's say based on total spend, and let's say within the last 5 years, and they've spent, any customer who spent, say, over £500. Now, that was quite easy to do, wasn't it? When you press recalculate here, you'll see that it's produced 828 customers who spent over £500 within your business. Is that useful for you? I think you probably found it is. What we can do though is we can layer things on top of each other. So what we could say is anyone who spent over £500 and hasn't, let's do number of visits, and we can say and has not visited within the last 6 months equals 0. So what we've done there is we said that they spent over £500 and that they've been in no times within the last 6 months. So when I press recalculate, you'll see that 858 goes down to 456. So it shows you of your best customers, 456 aren't actually active at the moment. Is that useful for you? Do you think that comes in handy? Do you think that could be actually a useful group of customers to target? Well, I can tell you that that group of customers there is worth hundreds, if not thousands of pounds to your business, because we know for a fact that the current stats show that existing customers worth 9 times what a new customer's worth to you. So we know, particularly with this group of customers, because we know that they've already spent £500 as well. We know that they're the perfect customer to actually put a marketing campaign to. So what we would then do is we'd then create a template. So maybe we'd send them a text message, and what we'd do is let's do best again. So what we do is we do best customers, and what we do is in here is what it does is it creates your text for you. So what we do is we'd say first name, and we can say hi first name, and then what we could do is we can, if you want, you can type out as much as you want. So you could say hi first name, and it'll put their first name in. We're sorry we've missed you. Please accept this £10 voucher as a way of getting them back into store. So what we do is we produce a voucher for £10 if you wanted, and then you'd say how long it's valid for. This allows you to produce a text message and a voucher that you can send straight out to your customers. Now, coming up on the screen now, you'll actually see some examples of different vouchers that we've sent via text. It's a really good way of getting customers in straight away. What you then do is you put your campaign there and you press run campaign, and basically what it does is it will send that text message to all of those customers who basically used to spend over who've spent over £500 and stopped shopping with you. Just to quickly show you some of the things that you can target customers on. You can target all customers who've got an email address, or have got a phone number, or have got a birthday, or have got what else have we got? So we've got have been created in a particular store, or with the birthday you could say anyone who's got a birthday within the next 10 days, and you could produce a list and send them all a birthday card. What you could also do is you could say, based on total spend, you could say is bought has an average spend of over this much, or an average spend of under this much. You probably gather there are hundreds of different ways we can target customers. One of my favourite ones that we've got in there is you could do any dog customer who has bought dog products. So if they've been into store and bought a dog treat or a dog toy, but has never bought dog food off you, that is an instant group of customers that you can send promotions to try and get them to buy dog food. Simple logic is, if they've bought a dog product off you, they've probably got a dog. So what can you do to make them buy dog food off you that will then keep them buying dog food from then on? All I can say here is that you've probably seen from that list, the list is massive. There's way too many to talk you through now. We've got loads of different trainings on customer loyalty and on customer marketing, and we focus a lot on building lists and how you use them. All I can say is everything that we teach in all those trainings, so by all means go onto our YouTube channel and watch them, but all the stuff we teach is all using this particular system. Every single part of it, of what we do, the way we make money for our customers, we use this. We use it in our business. I use it in my retail stores. All I care about is how we can basically use our customer data to make more money and basically make our customers' experience better. Now, what I've done there is I've showed you the data side of it. Now, you have one other section here, which is the remarketing section. Now, the remarketing section is brilliant, basically. It allows you to set up automated things. So what you could do is you could say anyone who buys a free product, automatically they go into sequence. So what you can do is, so when someone buys a free product in my store, if you come in, you buy the free product, we have this section set up with free product, and what it does is automatically in 3 months it'll send you a text no, 2 texts and 1 email. No, 2 emails, 1 text, that's the right way. So what we'll do is we'll send you an email 2 weeks before your 3 months are up, telling you need to, deflea your dog or your cat. We'll send them another one a week closer saying, look, you really need to, and then we'll send them a text message if they still haven't, with a voucher off to come and spend in store. This on its own manages to get work. So on the flea products, as I say, there's videos on YouTube on how it works, but on the flea products alone, it's managed to increase our actual our customers' return visits by 500% over the last 2 years by implementing that within our business. Look at how it could work. Think about it. You could do it for, I do it on that. I do it on UV bulbs. I do it on dog food. I do it. Anyone who buys a rabbit hutch, we send them instantly as soon as they buy the rabbit hutch. We send them using this system. We send them a link to one of our YouTube videos of how to put that rabbit hutch together. That massively improves our relationship with our customers. They feel like they're getting a much better experience because we're giving them a personal, or they feel it's a personal touch, but what we've done is we've used the system to automate all that. If you've got any more questions on it, by all means, get in contact with us and we can talk you through it. How do you count your stock, or how do you do a stock take? That's the type of question we get asked all the time. What we've done is we've come up with a solution that allows you to do this really quickly and easily, and it manages to save hours and hours off your staff's time over the course of a week. The way that we do it is using our handheld PDA and our mobile version of the software through our app. Now, the mobile version of the software, you can use it on your phone, you can use it on a tablet, but you can also obviously use it on the PDA. Now, the PDA, and the app combined allows us to do near enough everything that we can do on the till we can do on the PDA. So you can do stock control, you can do reordering, you can do statistics, all on your mobile device. You can also, if you want, you can serve customers, so you can queue bust on the till. You can also basically use this as a mobile version of a till system, so you can go around and you can serve customers on your shop floor. Now, the great thing about this is anything you do on this device, as soon as you do it, it's happened on the till. So that also works. If you change the price here, if you've got multi-sites, it can even change in all your other stores. So I'll show you the way that works. So if we scan a product here on the till system, you'll see it says King British Goldfish Food at $1.79. If I go into the stock screen on the PDA and adjust edit product, when I scan the product, like so, you'll see it brings up that particular product. And if you see, it says $1.79, the same as it does on there. So if I click on that and do £2.50, and then click here to save, the second that I've done that, when I scan it on here, it's also changed to £2.50 on the till. Now, that also goes the same if you were doing statistics and you wanted to see how the product was performing, or you were picking your web orders, which you can do on this device, or even if you were serving a customer, the second you're serving them, it can come through onto the till for you. This will save you hours and hours within your business every single week. The last section we're going to look at today is the second screen. Now, the second screen can be used for a number of reasons within your store. It can be used simply as a display to allow your customers to see what products they bought, but it can also be used as an advertising screen. Now, as you can see, if you look on the screen now, you can see how the second screen works. What it does is it rotates adverts whenever the screen's not in use. This is really useful for you as a business owner, because what you can do is you can charge people to advertise on the back screens. So these are all adverts for my store. You can probably see some of the companies that are there. Now, we do both companies and individuals, so I charge dog walkers to advertise on the back screens, but I also charge companies. So what I do is we speak to reps of products that we sell a lot of, and we have a conversation with them where we say, like, do they want to advertise their products in store? You basically sell it to them, so that you basically pitch it this way: either they advertise, and if they don't, then their competitors, they're going to advertise, or they already are advertising, and therefore you're more likely to sell more of their competitors' products. And near enough everyone wants to do it, and near enough everyone wants to sign up and give you money to advertise on the back screen. Good thing from my point of view is that if you can get enough reps advertising or enough companies advertising, it'll actually pay for your system without you having to find the money. So, for instance, the way that it works is like this. So As you can see, it's running adverts as we speak. If I scan a product in, or if I press a product on the screen, when I press those products, they add to the cart. So what happens is the screen transforms from an advertising screen straight into a sales screen, where it allows the customer to see what they're buying. So as you can see, the total's running on the screen. And when I press £50 cash, when I press cash, what you'll see that it gives the customer their change, it tells them a bit about what's going on, and then when it goes straight back into advertising, it takes about 10 seconds and then it starts advertising again. This, from my point of view, is great, because what it does is it means that we're running it as a hybrid. So it's an advertising screen when it's not in use, but as soon as it becomes in use, it goes straight into a display screen for the customer. One other thing it can do is it can show information on the product. So when you press a product, it can actually show the customer information on that product, which allows you to use it as a selling tool. It also allows your customer to gain the information that you want about that product. So that works really well. Thank you. That concludes our demonstration video. Hopefully you've managed to see how our system can help you grow your business. If you want more information off us, contact us on the details that are on the screen. And if you haven't already, make sure you download the 2-week free trial of our software so you can get to use it yourself and you can actually see how much our software is going to help you in the months and years ahead. Thanks very much.